Well, good morning. Friday, May 30th, day 7 of our vacation. Mount Hood is in the distance. We're on US 26, headed northwest. We pulled out of the KOA just after 10 o'clock. It's 10:27 right now. Driven 13 miles, just came out of Madras. And looking for a very picturesque drive. This is a national scenic byway, and so I'm sure once we get into the higher country there's going to be some stunning shots to take, and we'll try to take some. Debating whether or not to take the 6-mile turnoff with the trailer up to the Timberline Lodge. That'll be a split-second decision once we get up there. I'm thinking it might be a nice idea to have lunch up there. Of course, it's about a 6,000-foot elevation. So, but I've got a V10, so I can make it, as long as there's gas on the other side of the hill. Another beautiful day. It's warmer today. Still very few clouds. Light traffic. Again, Mount Jefferson out that way. I really can't tell you if I've got it in the picture or not, but hopefully it's there. My trusty co-pilot is there, and Charlie is also getting his morning scratching. Alright, that's it. We'll shoot more when we have some more scenery farther up the mountain. Continuing along Highway 26, we're going through a river gorge. Not sure I know the name of the river, just off to the left there. We had a pretty steep drop in elevation, and of course we'll be climbing shortly as we go up and around Mount Hood. We're chugging along on Highway 46, gone about 46 miles, and we just passed a sign that said we were crossing the 45th parallel, half the distance from the equator to the North Pole. I thought that was interesting. And we're making good time. As you can see, we're now into the forest. Don't know what elevation we are. Mount Hood is just off to the right. Can't really see it through all these trees. But we'll get more of it as we get closer. We just came off the Blue Box Pass, just over 4,000 feet in elevation. And you can see Mount Hood off in the foreground. We're about 65 miles from Portland. Making good time. It's a little bit approaching 11:30. There's a nice view of the mountain. Gorgeous. We're climbing again. Probably still around 4,000 feet. Well, here we are at the Timberline Lodge, coming up on noon. What a 6-mile climb that was. But we made it. The lodge is in the background. We'll get more video of it in a second. Elena's inside the trailer. And here's Mount Hood. I'll try to zoom in. Make sure that I have the steady. Yeah. Alright, let's try to zoom in a little bit and see what we've got there. Beautiful day. Low 60s up here. No need for a sweater. Dogs are in a car about 50 yards from us. They see Charlie with me. They're going ape shit. There's Elena. We're going to go to the lodge soon. Alright, we're going to go check out the lodge. Okay, we're at the Timberline Lodge, and there's our good friend Mount Jefferson again. I've taken a lot of video of Mount Jefferson. But I think that'll be it for Mount Jefferson. Let's pan back, and we'll turn around to the lodge. Snow still on the ground up here, just like at Crater Lake. Although more snow at Crater Lake. And there it is. Opened by President Franklin Roosevelt in 1937. WPA Depression-era project. Elena's sitting on the bench there with Charlie, waiting for the Israel. Can't see the trailer from here, but it's down quite a ways. We'll shoot the mountain from the back end of the lodge. I hear tubas. Main lobby. Interesting doorways in this place. We're really not sure where we're going. That's probably obvious. Alright, we came up a flight of stairs and now we're getting somewhere. We're going to go to the back windows. Alright, here we are at the back end of the lodge. Mountain straight up ahead. Brilliant blue sky. You can see this place pretty much gets buried in snow, even on a light year. A light winter like this one. Obviously there's a bar up there. See all the liquor in the windows. Year-round skiing up here apparently. Somebody in the background said it's like skiing on glue. I wouldn't know. They were carting someone off on a stretcher when we came in the front door. Reminded me of why I don't ski. I would have been like Sonny Bono and gone right into a tree. Hell, I did that riding a bike, let alone on skis, going 10 times faster. Some sort of a animal there, a chipmunk or something. I have no idea what that is. Got a long nose, from what I can see through the viewfinder. I'm going to go back inside, take a picture of the main atrium, and then we'll decide whether we'll eat here or have lunch at the trailer. Alright, well it's 12:35. We did a quick tour of the Timberline Lodge. Now we're back here at the trailer. Elena's fixing lunch. We're no more than an hour, I think, from the campground in Portland. We pretty much just have to come down the hill. I think we're only about 40 miles away, 45 miles away. So hopefully we'll be there by 2 o'clock. The lodge is off that way. You can barely see it off in the distance. There's a newer structure that we walked through to get to the lodge. That's where all the ski locker rooms are, and people are in there in their ski gear, which was interesting to see. If you look close enough at the mountain, you can see people climbing on it. You can see a chairlift up there that is in operation. And you can see little specks of people climbing around, skiing around up there. So I'm glad we made the side trip here. I doubt we were going to get a chance to do it over the weekend. So we can chalk this off on the bucket list and say that we saw it. Now to go in, grab a quick bite, and then hit the road for Portland. Now we're coming down the mountain from the Timberline Lodge. Steep grade, probably about 6-7% downgrade. Garmin says we'll be at the campground at 5 after 2. Let's hope the traffic doesn't screw that up. Well, greetings from the Portland Fairview RV Park in Portland, Oregon. It's 5 o'clock straight up, and Elena and I pulled in right at 10 after 2. And we have a spot right near the front entrance. This is a big place, but you wouldn't know it where we're at. We're right in the front, but there's about 300 spaces here. Our space is right here in the second row, fronting the main road. You can see I'm all set up, put the flags out. I have to go around and park elsewhere though, not enough room in the space to fit the truck. Nice park, nice weather, upper 70s. A very slight little breeze is blowing. You can see things floating in the air, pollen and all kinds of allergens. Fortunately, we have the allergy medication. Weather is looking real good here for the weekend, which is great, and we're hoping to take advantage of that tomorrow as we tour the Columbia River Gorge area. That's the plan, at least. Tonight we're going to, I think, go out to eat. Elena's wishing for Red Lobster and the Cheddar Bay biscuits. So I think that's what we're going to do. Well, it's 8:45 here on Friday night in Portland. Beautiful evening, still light out. Probably not going to get dark for another 20 minutes to a half an hour. But the mosquitoes are starting to come out now. We just came back from Red Lobster, had a nice dinner. Elena was wishing for seafood, something different for a change. So we had salmon, both of us, for our 7th day out, 7th dinner on the road. Very nice campground. I walked it earlier with the dog. It's on multiple layers. There's about 3, maybe 4 plateaus. We're at the top one near the road. The whole property slopes is on the side of a hill, a gentle slope, and so it's terraced as you go down. And at the far bottom end there's a railroad track, and a freight train ran through there while I was talking with my mother. You couldn't even hear yourself think down there. So I'm kind of glad that we're far away from that. Plus we're close to the laundry, which we're going to do laundry tomorrow. That's in that building right there. They're having bingo in there right now. Also, you don't see any right now, but all day airplanes have been flying right over the campground. We must be in the approach path to Portland International. My dad would have very much liked this place. He could have sat out under the awning and looked up and watched planes all day, which was one of his favorite things to do. Surprisingly, at the restaurant, Elena and I noticed we got there maybe 6:45, expecting, you know, on a Friday night, be a long wait, have a long line. The place was empty. But then at 7:30, all of a sudden all these people started showing up and filing in for dinner. So I guess up here with the longer daylight hours, people maybe eat later. When we left, the restaurant was nearing capacity, and that was just before 8 o'clock. Made a quick stop at Lowe's to get an extension ratchet for my torque wrench, because every time I torque my lug nuts with the wrench, it scrapes the aluminum hubcaps and actually dented all of them. I didn't notice it until yesterday. So I bought a small 3-inch extension, and that will keep the side of the wrench from scraping those wheel hubcaps, which they don't make anymore. That's why I'm concerned. Anyhow, that's about it. 1 week on the road. Tomorrow starts our 2nd week, and we're gonna get up and cook breakfast. I put out the little table and set it up already. I'll fry bacon in the morning. We'll have bacon and eggs, and then we'll head east and we'll tour the Columbia River Gorge. Like I said, do laundry, housekeeping, give Charlie a bath, and then on Sunday we'll probably go into downtown Portland and check the scenery out there and attend whatever, you know, fair, street fair events or whatever that they have going on. So that's the story from here. Had a great little visit on Mount Hood, very scenic drive. Didn't get very many pictures, but the Timberline Lodge was interesting. Beautiful structure, and glad we took the little side trip there. So that's it for now, and we will check in again tomorrow in the Columbia River Gorge. Saturday, May 31st. This is day 8 of our vacation, beginning of our 2nd week. We're on historic US Highway 30, the Columbia River Gorge Highway. Just got on it. It's 11:30 in the morning. Got a later start today than we have in previous days. And we just got on the road a couple miles back in Troutdale. And when we get to some interesting pullouts and scenic overlooks, we will stop there and take some pictures. Here's our first stop at Chanticleer Point, and we're actually headed for the Vista House, which is that building straight ahead there. That likely will be our next stop. It's kind of hazy today, so you really can't get all that great of a view. But it's impressive nevertheless. Huge river. Back up a little bit for some perspective. We'll get some better shots as we go further down. Here we are at Crown Point and the Vista House. We're going to go inside and check it out, hoping that the haziness burns off with the clouds. More from the Grand Point Vista House. Look out, looking to the east. That's to the west, towards Portland. And there's the building itself. Oops. Elena, I've got the dog with me. Elena went inside there to look around, but she hasn't come out to the ledge yet. There she is. There's her triumphant arrival on the... And she's waving for the camera. I'm trying to hold it still. Now I'm going to take a still shot. Here's the inside of the observation house. Gotta go up the stairs. parks here. See if Elena's waiting for me. Elena's trying to figure out how to use my camera to take a picture of me. She can't see the LCD screen, so she can't tell what she's looking at. Let's see if she can figure it out. There's Charlie with her. Okay, let's see if she can get me. She's not sure if she got it. Well, that flash went off, so she must have got something. Anyhow, here's the view from up top. Not much different from down below. There you have it. Now we're at Natl Falls, taking the 1/10 of a mile steep climb up to the vista point. Elena and Charlie are up ahead. Here's the Natl Falls. Pretty. You can barely see it crashing into the river down below. Nice little shaded viewpoint here. As you can see, it's starting to get more and more crowded as we get later in the day. Now we're on our way to Bridal Falls, taking about a half-mile severely downhill trail. This is the flat part. We already descended the steep part. Here's the Bridal Falls. Gorgeous. Apparently there's good internet reception here. Guy's on his cell phone, on his iPhone, probably checking out his pictures. Now we gotta climb all the way back up. Elena and Charlie already started off ahead of me. Gave them a head start. One last look. There's the Bridal Veil overlook right into the wind, and there's the rail line that goes right through the back end of our RV park several miles down the road, looking west towards Portland. And then to the north into Washington State, and then again off eastward. We're gonna stop here and have lunch, and then go to Multnomah Falls. The goal is to try to get all the way to the Bonneville Dam, which really isn't that far. So we'll see. That's the hope. Take the historic road all the way out to Bonneville Dam, and then take I-84 back to the campground. Okay, here we are at Multnomah Falls. We were lucky to find parking. It's crowded here. Long distance view from across the road.
We'll check the place out, see what it looks like. There's the falls. Too large to fit in the viewfinder. I'll see if I can get Elena to go up on the bridge. Now we're on the bridge overlooking the falls. You can see it straight down below there. Crowded. Elena's over there. Tired of fighting the traffic. There's the look down below. Very crowded. People hiking up to the head of the falls. There you have it. Alright, we're leaving the humanity on the bridge. A nice lady took our picture with the falls in the background. It came out real nice. So now we're heading back down 2/10 of a mile to the base of the falls. Alright, we're gonna leave the Multnomah Falls. The smell coming out of that building is delectable. It's a smell that kind of reminds me of Disneyland. All the different kind of, smells of different kinds of food cooking. You see the falls at the top there. Elena's inside checking out the gift shop and the restaurant. Of course, we just had lunch at the car. So we're going to move on now. Head further east. Still hoping to get to Bonneville Dam and then take 84 back to the trailer. But it is getting late. It's already, I think, approaching 2 o'clock, if not after. Now it's 20 after 3, and we're at the Bonneville Dam Visitor Center. There's the dam in the foreground. It wouldn't be a vacation unless we stopped and visited at least one dam. We did Lake Powell and Glen Canyon Dam in Utah. And we did Shasta Dam when we went to the Redwoods and to Oregon a few years ago. So here's Bonneville. I'm going to pan around. Wind's picking up a little bit. You can see now some of the gorge. Still a little hazy, but it did get better. Visitor Center. Check it out. Okay, here's a close-up again of the dam and of the locks, I guess, or the gates. I came through the Visitor Center, and I'm going to go back now and see the fish ladders to allow salmon to migrate up the Columbia and other species of fish. of the fish ladders, and you can faintly see the fish climbing. Fighting their way upstream. I glommed my way onto this guided tour to get into the powerhouse. You can see, looking west again, into the afternoon sun. Size of those wrenches. Here are the fish, underwater view of the fish ladder, fighting their way up. I didn't realize there were that many. This one's for my cousin Andrea. Okay, here's at the observation deck at the Bonneville Dam. I'll do one last 360 before we head back for the trailer. The spillway is through those trees. There's Powerhouse 1, which I was just inside. Down below that, in between here, are the fish ladders. And we saw pictures of the fish, including a Pacific lamprey that was suction cupped onto the glass of the window, the viewing window down there. That one power line is going, the guy said it goes all the way out to the Dells, out into, I guess, eastern Oregon, and powers that part of the state. And that's it. On our way out of Bonneville Dam, we stopped at the Bonneville Fish Hatchery. and they aren't hatching much fish this time of year, mainly for salmon. But we're going to go to their sturgeon display. They got a 400-pound sturgeon. We're going to see him and then head back to the campground. Beautiful grounds here. Here are some rainbow trout. There are some sturgeons. There's one of the big sturgeons right behind the branch. All right.
Well, it's 5 o'clock and we're on Interstate 84 heading back to the campground. We're going to go out for Mexican food tonight. We're both wishing for Mexican food.
We find one.
I'm sure we'll find one up here somewhere. A Mexican food restaurant, that is. Had a good time. Spent a good 6 hours. Took the Scenic drive. Saw most of the waterfalls. A couple of them were so crowded there was no parking, so we just kept going. But we saw the important one, Multnomah Falls, as the sign says. That was the big one that we wanted to see and had to see, and did. So, all in all, a good day. Weather turned out great. Still a little bit of haze, but the temperature is perfect. Didn't need the heat last night. Didn't need a heavy blanket. And it sounds like tomorrow is going to be more of the same. The Rose Festival is beginning here. They're having a starlight parade downtown at 9 o'clock. It's going to be live on TV. So it's a big deal, their Rose Festival up here in Portland. We'll probably watch it. So that's all for today. Hopefully we'll have more tomorrow. I think we're going to spend the day, or at least part of the day, in downtown Portland checking the place out. And then we've got some chores to do at the trailer before we move on to Mount Rainier on Monday morning. That's all for now. Good morning, Monday, June 2nd, day 9 of our trip. It's 11 o'clock. We're just crossing the Columbia River on Interstate 205 into the state of Washington. We left the RV park about 10:45, and we're due to arrive at the Mountain Haven Resort at 1:20, but that's with no stops. There's the Columbia out there. Overcast skies are just beginning to break up, and soon we'll be in sunshine. It was that way the whole stay here in Portland. Overcast in the morning, sun came out about 11 o'clock. Yesterday was really a do-nothing day. We didn't go see anything, didn't go to downtown Portland. We were just kind of too tired from all the activity. So we woke up late, finally had that bacon and egg breakfast that we had been talking about, and then did chores, laundry, vacuuming, dusting, you name it. Elena spent about 4 hours, by my count, on the computer, taking care of emails at work. Did a little bit more of it this morning. Hopefully she can put it down now for a while and get back into vacation mode. So we're heading now for Mount Rainier National Park, a little Mount Haven resort. They only have about 15 RV spaces there in Ashford, right outside the, I guess it would be the west entrance of Mount Rainier National Park. A lot of traffic there in Ashford these days. Maybe people have heard about it on the news. Apparently 6 mountain climbers perished on that mountain within the last week, and search crews just gave up the search in the high country for the bodies. I understand that a lot of the family has flown in, and so there's a lot of media and activity in the little town of Ashford, although maybe now it's going to subside now that the search has been called off. So that's it for now. We'll see if we stop for a lunch break wherever we stop. We're heading for I-5. Travel on that for about 30-40 miles, and I think we're taking US Highway 12 and then Washington Route 706.
Alright, well, it's 10 after 12. We've driven about 70 miles. We stopped at a rest area on I-5. We're probably about 15 miles from the Highway 12 cutoff, where we'll head east towards the Ashford area. Nice day, partly cloudy skies. Overcast continues to burn off. It's getting sunnier as the day goes on. We'll report more when we get closer to Ashford.
Well, we're trucking along on Washington Highway 7. We're about a half an hour away from the RV park. We've been climbing steadily for the last 25 miles. It's ever since we got off the 5. Very green country, a lot of timber country here. We just passed several lumber mills. We could smell the fresh cut wood, and of course there are a lot of logging trucks on the road. And haven't really seen Mount Rainier summit yet. Maybe when we get a little bit closer we'll see something. Didn't see Mount Adams or Mount St. Helens either from the route we took. Probably could have seen them if there were not trees on either side of the road, but the trees are obscuring a lot of the view. But we're enjoying the drive. Weather's probably about 65, 68 degrees with a slight breeze. We're 8 miles from the campground, driving through a tall grove of trees. I mean, they're tall, very green here. Still haven't seen the summit yet, however. Since we're only 7 miles from the park entrance, I would hope that we would see it soon.
Okay, 2:30. We're here at the Mount Haven Resort at the main entrance. Just found my spot. Space 13, very well shaded, and we'll park it and get set up shortly.
Greetings from the Mount Haven Resort in Ashford, Washington, in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. 4:30 in the afternoon. Elena and I pulled in at 2:30. Beautiful place here, rustic. Maybe a dozen and a half RV sites. There's only 2 RVs in here. The rest are little cabins owned by a young couple with 2 little kids. Probably about 30 years old, the couple is. And real nice and friendly. Gorgeous little place, nestled in the trees, half a mile away from the entrance to Mount Rainier National Park. A very pleasant and uneventful drive getting here. No traffic whatsoever. Nobody followed us up. Didn't have to pull over one time to let traffic pass. You can see how empty the place is. Airstream is parked under a grove of very tall trees. Exactly what kind of trees they are, I'm not sure of. Elena's inside reading a book. No cell service, so can't make phone calls, but they do have Wi-Fi, and apparently the speed is good. I haven't connected yet, but we'll try to do so. Pan around a little bit from inside the car, and I think there might be even a creek that runs through the back there. I'm not sure. Haven't had a chance to check this place out yet. But we're going to have a relaxing evening, no television, and like I said, no cell service. But we'll see how good the Wi-Fi is, and we'll get ready for our trip to Mount Rainier National Park tomorrow. Well, here we are at the Mount Haven Resort, Ashford, Washington. Beautiful place, under the shade of the tall trees, and really enjoying getting into vacation mode now for sure, 9 days in. And our second week is going to be dominated really by Mount Rainier tomorrow, and then the rest of the week in Port Angeles with a ferry trip to Victoria mixed in with a few days of touring Olympic National Park. We've towed the trailer about 875 miles so far from Sacramento to this point. Checked the trip odometer on the truck just a minute ago, and all told, including side trips, day trips, we're about 1,135 miles so far put on the truck, which isn't quite as many as I would have expected, but we're still early into the trip. So the proprietor of the park here was nice enough to give us this book which shows us driving tours and little hikes and things to do near to the highway at Mount Rainier. We're looking forward to it. And then we'll be back on the road again Wednesday for Port Angeles, and that will be another 160 or so miles. So by the time we get up there, which will be the northernmost point of our trip, we'll have towed the trailer about 1,000 miles, and then it's all head south from there down the Washington and Oregon coast before we'll cut across to Grants Pass and then take Interstate 5 to get home. So far, knock on wood, everything's holding up well. The trailer's holding up well. The dog is holding up well. Elena is holding up well. And we're having a good time. So collected some t-shirts along the way, and just generally enjoying all the sights that we've seen so far. There really hasn't been a dud in the bunch yet, so hopefully that trend will continue. As I said earlier, there's no TV, no cable, but the Wi-Fi is good. Elena and I are going to probably break out the cards, the playing cards tonight, and have another epic rummy battle. So we'll see who wins all the points tonight. Anyhow, that's it from here. We'll film more tomorrow morning at Mount Rainier. Believe it or not, the whole way through getting up here, still can't see the mountain. I haven't seen the Rainier summit from this vantage point yet, and the entrance to the national park is less than a mile away. So I'm sure, well, we'll have to wait till tomorrow, I guess, but I'm sure it will be worth the wait. So until then, adios. Tuesday, June 3rd, 11 o'clock in the morning. We just entered Mount Rainier National Park. It's cloudy this morning, but again expected to burn off around noontime, and afternoon will be in sunshine. So we're trying to get our bearings figured out as to where we're going to go, and we're following the road. Elena's checking out the map, and we've got some road construction as well to do. The National Park Inn off of Nisqually Road, a few miles inside the Nisqually entrance to the park. A lot of road construction. They must have had some flooding over the winter because the roads are in terrible shape, but they're working on them. As you can see, no sun yet. Everything is shrouded in clouds and fog, so we're hoping that that will lift soon so we can glimpse some of the scenery. We're going to go inside the inn here and check it out. We are at the Christine Falls overlook. You see the road goes right over the canyon there. And there's a hint of sulfur in the air.
This is the Nisqually River and what used to be the Nisqually Glacier. It's eroded significantly over the last century. Probably is still a glacier though up into the cloud area, which is starting to lift a little bit. We're starting to get some sun, but still not there yet. You can see the highway goes right through it. Pan up a little bit. There may still be some glacier up there. And that's it. Well, here's another overlook of the Nisqually River headed down from the mountain peak. And you can hear it raging, although doesn't have a great deal of water in it. But there's some huge boulders in that riverbed, so I could imagine in the rainy season you get some real flows, and I'm almost certain that's why the road is in such bad shape, because the road coming up here from the main entrance of the park borders that riverbed. As for Rainier Peak itself, according to this sign here, so when you stand here, that's what you're supposed to be able to see. And we don't see it yet. But we're continuing to be optimistic. Here's Natl Falls. This is the river at the top of the falls. We're standing on a bridge. The river goes under the bridge, and then it starts to go down the side of the cliff. There's the Natl Falls from the other side of the bridge. It starts to descend right there, and then you can see it goes over and then goes down. Elena and I are going to go and take that trail. You see the wooden rails across the river, and we're going to get some shots from down there. Okay, I descended the trail. Here's Natl Falls, looking up at it. Mist blowing in the face. A beautiful fall. The trail was covered with ice through there, very slippery. I didn't fall coming down. Elena didn't want to risk it. She didn't take a chance. She stayed up. Beautiful and cold with that mist blowing. You can see the bridge up there. That's where I filmed earlier. And I was hoping Elena would be peeking over the side of the overlook, but I don't see her up there. I'll take a few stills and head back for the truck. Pardon the fog on my camera. Got damp from the falls. We're taking a picture of a bluebird. I don't know what kind of bird it is, and he just took off. Oh well. I got some stills of him though. We're here at the Henry Jackson Visitor Center at Paradise Lookout. 5,700 feet, I think they said, elevation. And there aren't that many people here. Unfortunately, the peak continues to be shrouded in clouds and fog. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to see it. A group of cross-country skiers are just getting ready to take off outside here. They're taking a group picture. There they are through the glare of the window. They're going to, I don't know how far they're going, but they're going to go quite a ways. I heard them talking about it as they were suiting up outside the entrance. There's Elena and Charlie. Again, hard to see with the backlight. Charlie's obstructed. So that's it for in here. We're going to go check out the hotel and I think there's a hotel and a lodge up here, and maybe wait for another hour in hopes that we'll get a break There is a blue sky occasionally, but not to the extent that we're hoping for. More display exhibits over here. Okay, that's it. Now we're at the Paradise Inn here in the fog. Nice old structure. They've had a light snow year here, but you can tell by the size of that drift that they still had, oh God, maybe 30 feet of snow. We're going to go inside and check it out. Inside the Paradise Inn. That's a table. There's the dining room. Well, it's 2 o'clock here at Paradise, and I guess it just wasn't meant for us to see Mount Rainier. Didn't see it yesterday, didn't see it today. There's the Jackson Visitor Center up ahead. Guide services shack for, I guess, tour guide, hikes, things like that. And then the Paradise Inn is over there. Gray, gloomy here. And unfortunately we weren't able to capture any of the real beauty of the place. Just a couple of waterfalls, and that was about it. Who knows, maybe at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, if it clears up, maybe I'll get in the car and take a run out here. It's about a 40-minute drive, at least to one of the viewpoints, just to say that I got a picture of the mountain. But for now, we're going to call it quits and head on back to Ashford. Well, here's our second day in Ashford, Washington. We went up into Mount Rainier National Park today, and I no sooner said it was that we haven't had a dud trip yet. Today kind of turned out to be a dud. The clouds never cleared. It was foggy and cloudy, and you really couldn't appreciate the beauty of the place. We never did see the summit. We did see a couple of waterfalls that were pretty, and some overlooks that I'm sure in sunshine would have been very beautiful, but shrouded in clouds and fog, it didn't really, do that much for us. Anyhow, we have to move on. So tomorrow we head out for Port Angeles. We'll be there for 4 days, and the highlight of that stay in Port Angeles is going to be a ferry trip to Victoria, British Columbia. We're not sure what day we're going to make that trip. I'll have to check the weather. Whatever day has the best weather and the most chance for sunshine will be the day that we probably take that trip. Today is actually day 11 of the trip. I missed a day, I guess, when we had that rest day in Portland. Yesterday was day 10. I said it was day 9. So today is day 11, and we're approaching the halfway point. I think we're going to be on the road for 24 days. So tomorrow's the halfway point. I got hamburgers grilling for dinner tonight and the next couple of nights. And so that's really it from overcast, mostly cloudy, Ashford, Washington. We'll report more on the road to Port Angeles tomorrow.
Well, good morning, day 12. I think it's Wednesday, the 4th of June. You could see a deer right in front of the entrance there to the RV park. It's 10 minutes to 9 in the morning, and I'm leaving the RV park, headed back into Mount Rainier. Everything is bathed in sunshine today, and I'm going to go back up there and get some of those photos that I missed yesterday. So here I am approaching the park entrance, and there are some clouds forming up there, so hopefully I will be in luck. We will soon find out. Now here I am at the Longmire stop where the hotel was, and there it is, Mount Rainier. Finally got a chance to see it, and it's beautiful. I'm only about a 20-minute drive from the Paradise Point, which is at the highest elevation. I think I'm going to head up there. You can see, don't want to pan too fast, how much different and prettier the place looks in sunshine. The birds are chirping. The inn is behind me. And there you have it. So I think I'm going to dash up the hill real fast, get some pictures up there, and then get back down. Well, we're on the bridge over the Nisqually River, and that's the same shot I took yesterday, but it looks a lot better in sunshine. Glaciers pretty much melted up in the high country there. Wow. Take a look at that. Now, is that beautiful or what? Boy, I'm glad the sun came out today. This makes it all worth it. That's a beautiful shot there. I'm at this lookout point, same place we were yesterday. And of course you couldn't see any of that yesterday. Some more 360 of some other snow-capped peaks. I'm going to walk over to the ledge and peek over the Nisqually River again. Now I'm back at the Natl Falls, at the top of the bridge, at the top of them. I'm not going to hike down there again, although the falls in the sunlight would sure look beautiful, but yesterday's pictures will have to do. And here's some more of that scenery that we didn't get yesterday. Beautiful jagged peaks with snow. Beautiful topography. You can see the stone retaining wall there that we're parked on. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to pan around to look upstream. There's the other side. That's a pretty shot as well. Very nice, with the sun and the shade. And Mount Rainier is obscured. It's right through that grove of trees. The next stop is Paradise. I'll film and take shots up there. Okay, I'm here at Paradise. There's the Jackson Visitor Center. You can hear a helicopter in the background. Obviously a good day for aerial tours. There's the summit. I'm on the tripod for a steadier shot. Let's try to zoom in on the summit. Don't know if we'll be able to make out any
any hikers or climbers up there. Jagged, rugged, dangerous. That looks like an avalanche area there. Hard to see through this viewfinder with glare. So that's it there, and then over to the Paradise Inn and Lodge. Off in the distance there. Zoom in on that a little bit. And then panning to the east. And to the south. Oops, sorry, kicked the tripod. To the west. Not very many people here. And that's where we started. There's the truck. And there's Mount Rainier summit. Alright, 10 o'clock. Now it's time to head back. I told Elena I'd be back at the trailer by 11. Well, here's one last shot of Mount Rainier as I head down the hill. It sure is beautiful. Mount Rainier finally came through for me. It took me 3 days to see it, but I finally got to see it in all of its glory. Elena missed a good morning trip, but at least I've got the video for her to enjoy and pictures at a later date. So now I can recommend this park when you can see it in full sunshine. It wasn't so hot in clouds and fog, but now it's great. So now it's back down the hill and off to Port Angeles. It's 1:15. We got off to a late start, leaving the RV park in Ashford at 10 minutes to 12. We're now on Highway 16, and we're crossing the infamous Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Those of you may recall seeing the video of the bridge twisting and turning in the wind before it collapsed. That was the old Tacoma Narrows Bridge. This, of course, is the rebuilt version, and there's actually two bridges here. But this is a spot of historical significance because of that bridge that collapsed maybe, what, 50, 60 years ago? I can't remember. Garmin says we'll be in Port Angeles at 20 after 3, but we have to make a stop for lunch. I'm hoping that we can get there by 5. Well, it's 1:45 and we stopped on the outskirts of Bremerton. We've driven a little over halfway to Port Angeles. Skies are overcast and a little cool. And across the way there, you might not be able to see it through the trees, but that's a Dairy Queen over there. And that's where I'm headed. Elena's inside making sandwiches. We're going to have sandwiches. And then I'm going to go across the street and get myself a Dairy Queen in honor of the old man who never would have passed up a Dairy Queen in his travels. So Dad, that one will be for you. But like I said earlier, my impromptu return to Mount Rainier National Park set us behind this morning. I got back to the campground there about, oh, I don't know, 10 after 11, and moved like a bat out of hell, got everything packed up, and we pulled out of the campground at 10 minutes to 12. Then took Washington Highway 7, which was a rather windy and slow-going road. Took us about an hour to go about 35 miles. Then it got into some open highway, and then finally to Interstate 5, and then to Highway 16. So now we're on 60-mile-an-hour highway, and hopefully the rest of the way to Port Angeles will be a lot quicker. I'll probably stop and get gas. There's a 76 station not far from here, right down the street in fact. And then just as in past trips, our good friends at the Days Inn provided RV parking for us. Seems like every time we stop to park at a Days Inn, their lot is practically empty. So their lack of business is our gain for available space to park. Alright, that's it. More from the road later. We've just turned onto Washington 104, heading west towards the Olympic Peninsula, and we're crossing more water here, going over another rather long bridge. Still overcast. Sun is trying to break through, but predominantly cloudy. There's some of the scenery to the left. And more scenery to the right. Greetings from the Elwha Dam RV Park in Port Angeles, Washington. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. Elena and I pulled in here right around 4:10. 166-mile drive from Ashford. RVs are still coming in. I see a motorhome pulling in just a couple spots down from us. We had a pleasant drive from Ashford. Traffic was non-existent. Weather was good. Sunshine in Ashford led to cloudy skies through Tacoma. And then as we got onto the Olympic Peninsula, the clouds broke and we had sunshine all the way into Port Angeles. Here's the office. Nice little campground here, highly rated. Haven't driven through here yet myself. I just got finished setting everything up. So I'm kind of seeing this place for the first time. We'll be here for 4 nights. No television reception, but that's okay. Elena and I are getting to be quite the rummy players, and she's beating me on a regular basis, so I've got to do something about that. Park seems to be up on the side of a hill. Nicely manicured, nicely landscaped. It was highly rated. Hopefully I didn't go the wrong direction. This is an upper plateau here. These are some nice spots. I wonder why they didn't put me up here with grass and all. Maybe I didn't pay enough for it. I don't know. Weather is about 60 degrees, I'd say. And you can see that the marine layer is just waiting to come back in. We stopped for lunch. I videoed that earlier. Had that Dairy Queen. Thought of my dad while wolfing that down. And then, like I said, came here. I don't remember anything of this. I was here 40 years ago, but nothing looked familiar. Nothing on the 101 or anything like that looked remotely familiar. We're going to check out the ferry line to Victoria. We're going to do that. I don't know if we're going to do that tomorrow. We're probably going to do that on Friday. We still have to figure out what we're going to do with Charlie. Another interesting thing here is that the national park is right about on the boundary through those trees.
And there's a dam up there that they dismantled in favor of the salmon run to restore the salmon in Olympic National Park. And there's a trail to go see the dam site and the restored riverbed. I think I'm going to take that site and go check it out. Like I said earlier, we'll be here for 4 nights. I'm inside the national park boundary, taking a walk along this trail to the former Elwha Dam site. The dam, I guess, created Lake Aldwell. It was built around the turn of the century, maybe even the late 1800s. And like I said, as part of salmon restoration, they're taking down the dam all along the Elwha River basin, all the way up to Mount Olympus. Biggest kind of project, dam removal project in the world to date, specifically for salmon populations. So I'm anxious to get to that overlook. Heavily forested area, as you could tell. Okay, I'm at the overlook site now, and here's a placard of what the dam used to look like with Lake Aldwell behind it. And there's the area out there with the dam removed and the free-flowing Elwha River. All that bare area apparently used to be underwater, and the National Park Service is going to great lengths to reestablish and replant the native vegetation and return this to its natural state. A beautiful scene. Much prettier than a hydroelectric dam, that's for sure. I'll take a few stills and then head back to the trailer. Well, here it is, 8:45 at night in Port Angeles, the end of a long day. It started 12 hours ago with a quick run up to Mount Rainier and ends here at Port Angeles under sunny and cool skies. So we'll have more to film come tomorrow.